A big storm cloud is brewing with the US consumers and the economy. I don't think we have much time left at all until enough consumers give up on their monthly payments on the record amount of debt that we have, causing a serious recession. When the consumers are done, so is the economy. People are underwater on their auto loans. Delinquency rate is rapidly rising on their car loans and credit cards. Student loan payment has resumed. Consumer prices are still sky high. The latest jobs report is showing serious cracks in the labor market. It always starts with weak consumers. They will create a feedback loop of deflationary forces to the business side when the consumption goes down. Actually, I think it's already happening on the corporate side as we have Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings shooting up by 72% in 2023. We have a serious commercial office market crash where office buildings are selling for 50% or less in big city downtowns. Globally, Europe and China are already in a recession. Ironically, the US stock market is almost at its all-time high. There's a serious disconnect between Wall Street and the Main Street as the delusional stock market is pricing in 6 rate cuts this year as if it's a good thing. It's a ticking time bomb until everyone realizes what's inevitable soon shows up on the corporate balance sheets. And what's next? Unfortunately, I think it will be the unemployment rate that shoots up. It's always a part of the late cycle. Before we go any further, if you can hit that like button below and subscribe, it will help me out a lot on my new channel. Okay, let's look at some data. Let's first cover the auto market and see what the heck is going on. Used cars and trucks went up 60% since the pandemic, and the new cars went up 23%. In the meantime, while auto loans rates shot up from 3% to 7.7%, basically quadrupling monthly payments with the increase in prices and rates. Turned out what we thought was an everlasting inflation was just a supply chain disruption. As the car prices are now starting to collapse, millions of Americans are underwater on their car loans and the delinquency rate of the auto loan is shooting up. Effects of the prices shooting way up without wages catching up is now brewing a strong deflationary forces in the financial market. We may potentially have millions of auto loans defaulting and the banks will be sitting on millions of used cars after the repo. And seriously, what are they gonna do with all these used cars that keep getting outdated every year? They have to liquidate en masse. And that is highly deflationary. And there's also the commercial real estate collapse with office buildings. These skyscraper office buildings throughout big city downtowns are now on a 50% discount. These commercial loans are non-conforming loans, meaning the owners can just hand the key over to the bank and then the bank has to liquidate and take the loss. That is also highly deflationary, and this deflationary impact to our financial institutions from both auto loans and commercial loans will definitely break the financial system. I think banking collapse 2.0 is very likely in the next 12 months. Credit card loan delinquency rate is also rising really fast. This chart is a little bit outdated, but as of Q3 of 2023, the credit card delinquency has hit the highest point since coming out of the 2008 Great Financial Depression. It looks like this is on a fast upward trend. This is only a natural occurrence when the wages are stagnating in the highly inflationary period that we've had in the last 3 years. Now we have a resumption of student loan payments starting from last October of 2023. And looking at this data, average student loan payment can be around $500 a month, which has to take a big chunk out of your monthly budget. And counting those recent homebuyers who took out an 8% mortgage, there's just no way that this is not heading into a consumer cliff. Not surprisingly, bankruptcies are also on the rise. There was a 72% increase in Chapter 11 business reorganization filings in 2023, and also 18% went up for Chapter 13 consumer bankruptcies. I think in 2024 this number will get even worse. Many consumers will not make it with sky-high payments, high cost of living, and the inflation-adjusted real wages are decreasing. No one is going to spend money, and that will then create a feedback doom loop on the business side as earnings go down. Now we have a really high interest rates as the Federal Reserve is still holding on to that Fed funds rate between 5.25% and 5.5%. And there's a lot of businesses that have to refinance their business loans to roll over their debt. And there's a lot of zombie companies that are not making much money that are created by the easy money policy we've had for many years. I think we're in for a great reckoning. As businesses fail and revenues go down, the natural next step for these companies is to lay off unneeded employees to reduce the cost and salvage whatever corporate profits they have. Remember, these companies do not exist to support people like us and our families. They exist purely to make profits, and as soon as they realize that on their balance sheets that poop is about to hit the fan with the economy, they're gonna do what they have to do. And even though unemployment rate is holding up really well at the moment at 3.7%, which is really low given everything I just talked about, looking at this chart though, the unemployment rate is clearly a lagging indicator compared to the surge in credit card delinquency rate. Looking at this chart in 2008, the delinquency rate started shooting up way before the unemployment rate did. The delinquency rate is shooting up again now, and unemployment rate is naturally the next piece of the puzzle. The latest jobs report from December 2023 has a ton of warning signs. The mainstream media does not talk about this, and they're actually celebrating this seemingly strong labor market. They'll never tell the truth until it's too late, as they don't want their viewers to panic. Looking at the jobs report though, full-time job status disappeared by over 1.5 jobs in December. I mean, where did they go? The number of multiple job holders increased over 200,000 last month. The multiple job holders number has been trending up recently. That means a lot of people have to get multiple part-time jobs to survive, which is not good. A lot of these job gains in December is apparently from these part-time jobs. So I don't know what the mainstream media is talking about. This does not spell good news. In the meantime, layoff news are continuing to pour in. These are good full-time jobs from big companies being eliminated. Unity Software, Xerox, the names go on. Lately, there's this news that caught my attention about Google possibly laying off 30,000 jobs. These articles say it's because of the AI taking over human jobs. I think it's interesting that the timing of this massive layoff announcement seems to coincide with this recessionary force that's brewing in the market. I really think the future with the AI taking over is not really good for most people. It will only make tech companies and investors rich. And what good is increased productivity and GDP when most people lose their job by the AI? This is another long-term deflationary force and a significant contributing factor for wealth gap widening in the next 5 to 10 years. Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you found this useful. Please hit that like button below and subscribe, and I'll be sure to deliver more content like this. Thanks for watching.